Hey everyone, it's Paul with your Bold Profits for this Tuesday, and I'm here today with my special Cybertruck hoodie. Those of you that have been following Bold Profits and me through YouTube, you know that we've been in on the future mega trends now pretty much from the time we started. We started out with the Internet of Things, then we told you about artificial intelligence, blockchain, new energy, precision medicine. And today I want to talk about what I believe are three new emerging industries, really, because our world, our country, our economy, our society is really in the midst of a once in 100 year, 200 year shift, change, movement, whatever you want to call it. And so many things that people thought were in the realm of science fiction, sort of in the realm of something that was purely of the imagination now, are increasingly either coming true or we can see that over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, they are going to come true. And it is going to take things that we largely saw and thought and imagined as being something that would largely be something that we saw in a movie or on television or read in a book are now going to become reality. So I want to talk about three emerging industries, movements, mega trends, some combination of it. And the first one I want to talk about is space. And those of you who are following me on Twitter, and I'm going to plug my Twitter handle here at Mampilly Guru, um, we're now in the next step, the next level of space exploration. We had sort of like a bit of a false move, if you will, in the 1960s, where we went to the moon. We then pretty much, that was the peak, and then we went backwards. Largely, we really never pushed the envelope very far. And you can say that in many ways, perhaps our technology was not ready for it. We didn't have the commitment to it. We didn't really have the desire to push further. However, all that has changed as a result of our friend Elon Musk starting SpaceX. And you can go and look at interviews of Elon talking about the starting of SpaceX, and he thought that SpaceX had a less than 10% chance of making it. And in truth, I would have to say it was a real act of determination, will, courage to take his money from PayPal and rather than just put it into another internet company, to really look forward 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years and have this incredible, phenomenal, unbelievable goal of getting to Mars. And not just that, not to get to Mars, but to make the human race, the human species, into one that is interplanetary. In other words, Mars is simply really the first step. The idea is to actually colonize Mars and then to use Mars as a stepping off point to the rest of the universe. And what an incredible, phenomenal, unbelievable goal that is. And that is a goal that I believe is large enough, big enough, that this is the kind of goal that the United States as a country, the United States as a economy, and us as a people, this is the kind of thing that we like to go for. Space represents the new frontier. Mars represents the new frontier. And I believe over the next 3, 5, 7, 10 years, you are going to see an astonishing number of companies that come into the private space, into the public space for where you can invest it through the stock markets. And we're going to be showing you those in our Profits Unlimited service. So we have already one trade on space in our Profits Unlimited. For those of you who don't know me, Profits Unlimited is my monthly newsletter. It's my flagship newsletter. Goes for somewhere in the range of $50 to $100, depending on what offer you choose to accept. And it focuses exclusively on future-related companies, on megatrend companies, companies of our time. We have a forward-looking view of the world. In other words, it's very focused on what we call America 2.0, the new version of the world, the new version of our country, the new version of our economy. That's where our 100% laser focus is. And over the next coming years, we are going to focus increasingly on space because I believe this is going to be a large and very, very big and growing industry. And the best analog for me is thinking about it through an industry today that we take for granted. However, go back 100 years, and the airline industry sort of is where the space industry is today. And if you think today we have airports across our country, plane travel is very ordinary. And if you think about that 100 years hence, that's what space will be. However, the biggest opportunities always come early. Many people will think, hey, Paul, that's too far out. However, that's untrue. The biggest opportunities come right now. And you can just look at SpaceX, Elon Musk's company. It was obviously worth almost nothing when he began it, I believe, in 2006. And today, SpaceX is valued as nearly at $50 billion. So if you had the view that it was too late or too early, you would have missed out on it. All right. So the second one is also something that is related to Elon, which is that the future of mass transportation, I believe, is about to go through a revolution. If you think about it, today, mass transportation happens through buses, through trains, through planes, and to some extent through cars. However, all of that, I believe, is going to be completely and utterly revolutionized to where we look at what we have today, and it looks as ancient and as archaic as the horse and buggy does to people of a different age. And if you look at what is going on around the world, there is a competition to put up the first Hyperloop. And that's going on all around the world, whether it be in Dubai, India, in the United States, in Las Vegas, everywhere. In other words, there is now a movement to really use this new technology, which is faster, it is more efficient, it is much more energy efficient as well. And what it does, it shrinks distances, which is the essence of something that human beings desire as a species, as a race. And so this is something, mass transportation is going to be completely and utterly revolutionized. And things like rails will largely be seen as old dinosaurs that represented at one point in time high technology and today are going to increasingly represent past technology. And that is going to also then be represented in other things, like, for example, through automation. I believe that you are going to see significant signs of additional automation that's going to come to the trucking industry and then to the mobility industry, the movement of people through cities, across cities. And it is going to upend the existing transportation infrastructure, the airline industry, the railway industry, the existing public transportation systems that exist around the country. So this is a second one in which we will be looking for investments, both direct into it, as well as infrastructure investments that really build out what is necessary for all of this to happen. And that means everything from various materials, electronics that are in there. So there's many parts to this industry, and in truth, all of the industries that I'm talking about, space that I just mentioned earlier. All right. The last one is something that we are already very much into at Profits Unlimited and across all of our Bull Profit service, which is new energy. And this is something that many people have known is coming for some time. And today we are getting a rising amount of our energy from the sun, from the wind, and now between what we can do with electronics, what we can do with computer technology, software, hardware, sensors, chips of various kinds that can sit in water, sit in air, that are robust, and also various developments in terms of understanding how to work with nature, we are now pushing the edge of new energy to where we are starting to look at wave power, at friction or static power. And we are starting to look at different ways to store that energy. And I believe this is going to completely and utterly upend the existing energy market, the existing utility market, because these new forms of energy require new solutions, new thinking, new ways of organizing the energy infrastructure that largely goes around or needs completely different infrastructure than what is currently in place. And the best way you can think about it is that if you look at Amazon, well, Amazon's operations, which are completely online, completely something that is done through the internet, it looks nothing really like a old department store. So new energy is now, even when you look at the stock market, you can see some of these stocks, whether they be about lithium ion batteries, various storage forms, all new forms of energy. This is a sector of the market that is beginning to see the future coming at it faster and faster. And investors see that, and they are starting to price this into these stocks. And if you want to get in on what I believe is going to be one of the biggest shifts, which is the use of batteries in a big way and the use of a technology called supercapacitors, that are going to be a big part of this new energy revolution, because it is able to generate a rapid amount of energy very quickly. Well, click on the strong hands above, and this is going to send you to my endless energy video presentation on this particular revolution that's unfolding, that I believe is going to completely shift, alter, upend the existing infrastructure. And when you get to the presentation, I'll invite you to subscribe to Profits Unlimited, which is my flagship service. And you will also then have access to opportunities across the other two industries that are going to remake our country, our economy, our society. So you'll get access to all of that. Well, if you like the content of this channel, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, comment below on what you see happening with these three incredible mega opportunities, and I'll have another one of these for you next week. Until then, this is Paul saying bye.